A lot of controversy now breaking out over the moderators in this debate. That is not a particular shock. We're only a couple of days away from the debate. It is my view that Donald Trump should not have immediately accepted the Joe Biden offer to debate without actually negotiating over who the moderators would be. With that said, attacking the moderators is very often a popular debate strategy. And in this particular case, it'll be worth it. He's got Dana Bash and Jake Tapper. They are obviously very much oriented against him. Jake Tapper clearly does not like Donald Trump. Here is a montage of Jake referencing Trump's Hitlerian language over time, which again, this sort of idea that Trump is a Hitler-like figure is one of the dumbest diminishments of history in the media. It's truly stupid that Donald Trump, we found out what he looks like as president. And the answer is he says weird stuff and then he pursues really, really solid policy that, for example, doesn't set the world on fire. But the media are obsessed with this idea that Trump is actually secretly Orange Hitler. And it's so dumb. It really is it's historic reductionism in an extraordinary way. Here is Jake Tapper.
The dehumanizing rhetoric of Adolf Hitler is once again alive and well on a national political stage. This time, of course, in the United States. Donald Trump, a couple times over the weekend, referred to immigrants from South America, Africa, and Asia. He did not mention Europe. South America, Africa, and Asia as, quote, poisoning the blood of our country, which it's not hyperbole. That does very directly echo Adolf Hitler's language before World War II. If you were to open up a copy of Hitler's Mein Kampf, you would find the Nazi leader describing the mixing of non-Germans with Germans as poisoning. There's really no other way to say it. Donald Trump's language mirrors this directly.
Yeah, this is one of the moderators, obviously. Meanwhile, Dana Bash is the other moderator, so CNN's Kasie Hunt had on Trump surrogate Karoline Leavitt, and they had a bit of a fisticuffs. It broke out into a brawl because Karoline Leavitt pointed out these moderators are very much oriented against Donald Trump, and Kasie Hunt got mad at this.
So it takes someone 5 minutes to Google Jake Tapper, Donald Trump, to see that Jake Tapper has consistently frequently likened President Trump to Adolf Hitler.
Ma'am, I'm going to stop this interview if you continue to attack my colleagues. I would like to talk about Joe Biden and Donald Trump, who you work for.
Yes.
If you are here to speak on his behalf, I am willing to have this conversation.
I am stating facts that your colleagues have stated in the past.
Okay.
Now,
I'm sorry, guys. We're going to come back out to the panel. Karoline, thank you very much for your time. You are welcome to come back at any point. She is welcome to come back and speak about Donald Trump.
Okay, but why aren't you allowed to talk about the moderators? I'm super confused. I mean, the moderators are obviously an issue. They've been an issue in every presidential debate of my lifetime. And speaking of Kasie Hunt, I mean, this is not somebody who doesn't have a political dog in the fight. Here she was just a couple of years ago mocking Rand Paul after he got pummeled by a neighbor.
Details today on the incident that left Senator Rand Paul with 6 broken ribs. This might be one of my favorite stories, although, of course, we don't want to. Clearly, Senator Paul is still struggling.
Don't worry, there's no bias in the media. The View was very happy about this battle of wits between Kasie Hunt and Karoline Leavitt. They, of course, are very happy because they understand, as does everyone else, that the moderators are very much to the left.
Presidential debate of 2024 is airing on CNN on Thursday, but already it's mired in controversy after you-know-whose campaign press secretary was yanked from the network this morning. Take a look.
What do you expect from Joe Biden?
Well, first of all, it takes someone 5 minutes to Google Jake Tapper, Donald Trump, to see that Jake Tapper has consistently frequently likened President Trump to Adolf Hitler.
Ma'am, I'm going to stop this interview if you continue to attack my colleagues. I would like to talk about Joe Biden and Donald Trump, who you work for.
I am stating facts that your colleagues have stated in the past.
Okay.
Now,
I'm sorry, guys. We're going to come back out to the panel. Karoline, thank you very much for your time.
That was so good.
That was so good? Well, of course. Of course they think it's so good because they think the debate is stacked against Donald Trump and they are very happy about it. CNN put out a statement, quote, Jake Tapper and Dana Bash are well-respected veteran journalists who have covered politics for more than 5 decades combined. They have extensive experience moderating major political debates, including CNN's Republican presidential primary debate this cycle. There are no two people better equipped to co-moderate a substantial and fact-based discussion. Sure. Yeah, that's what that's going to be. A debate between Joe Biden and Donald Trump is going to be a substantial and fact-based discussion. Well, that would be, to my shock, and surprise. And we look forward to the debate on June 27th in Atlanta. Sure. We'll get to more on this in 1 second. First, Saudi Arabia recently ended its 50-year petrodollar deal with the United States. That has the potential to weaken the U.S. dollar. Since 1974, Saudi Arabia has sold oil solely in U.S. dollars. That was huge for our global economic dominance. Now they would like some other options. If there is less demand for the U.S. dollar, what happens to its value? It's for reasons like this I feel it's important to diversify some of your savings into gold. You can help do that with the help of Birch Gold. For over 20 years, Birch Gold Group has helped tens of thousands of Americans protect their savings by converting an IRA or 401k into an IRA in physical gold. To learn more, text BEN to 989898. Claim your free, no-obligation info kit on gold. Birch Gold has earned my trust with their education-first approach, as well as the trust of thousands of happy customers. They understand navigating financial decisions can be scary. That's why their dedicated in-house IRA department is there to guide you every step of the way. Protect your savings with gold. Text BEN to 989898 to talk to one of Birch Gold's experts. Claim your free info kit today. Text BEN to 989898. Again, diversification is a smart strategy in very uncertain economic times. Text BEN to 989898 to get started. That's BEN to 989898. The debate prep is ongoing. Joe Biden, who has no time to do a press conference about violence against Jews across the country from members of his own party and their advocates, like Jamal Bowman over in New York, where a big primary is taking place today. Again, if you are in New York's 16th congressional district, I urge you to go, if you can, vote in the primary and vote for George Latimer because Jamal Bowman is a trash heap. Well, Joe Biden is off in Camp David, presumably sleeping, eating Denny's, and prepping for debate. According to the New York Times, at Camp David, a movie theater and an airplane hangar have been outfitted with lights and production equipment to create a mock debate stage. So I guess that means that they have to actually recreate the debate optics, so Joe Biden knows where he is when he steps on stage. At least 16 current and former aides, summoned from Washington and Wilmington, whiz back and forth on golf courts to join President Biden in strategy sessions. Biden is entering his 5th day of preparations at the presidential retreat in the woods of Northern Maryland for Thursday's debate against Donald Trump. Both candidates are out of practice as debaters. Biden's top advisors, including Ron Klain, are aware of the missteps incumbents have made in the past. They'll be working to position Biden not only as a president in the midst of a re-election campaign, but as a fighter who can counterpunch on the fly. The rust factor is real, said David Axelrod. Neither of these guys is accustomed to having someone a few feet away grilling them with no deference. They're trying to game out exactly which attacks Trump might launch at Biden, which policies of his Trump could try to undermine, how they can best keep the president focused on landing an argument and striking a character and policy contrast with Trump. Apparently, the person playing the role of Trump is Bob Bauer, Biden's personal attorney. The actual Trump has engaged in something that resembles a more streamlined debate preparation process than in past years. He's doing policy discussions, but he says that he's relying on his experiences as a campaigner to guide him when he takes the stage across from Biden. Trump, for his part, says that Joe Biden should certainly do a drug test, and he also tweeted out that he would do one as well. Here he was talking about it.
Can't find his way off a stage, can't put 2 sentences together, although he has agreed to debate, so I don't know, maybe they know something. He's going to be so jacked up for those debates, you watch. I just want to debate this guy, but, and I'm going to demand a drug test, too, by the way. I am. No, I really am. I don't want him coming in like the State of the Union. He was high as a kite. I said, is that Joe up there? A beautiful robe? And by the end of the evening, he's like, well, he was exhausted, right? No, we're going to demand a drug test.
Okay, so at least he's increasing expectations, right? Which is the thing that he has to do, right? Donald Trump's big mistake in the run-up to this debate would be to lower the bar to Joe Biden to can he stay alive during the debate, as I've said many times. Joe Biden will show up. He will be awake. He will have drained the blood of a small child in the back room after sniffing her hair. And then he will be on stage, presumably half awake. About 45 minutes in, he'll start to get a little drowsy. The biggest thing that Trump has to do is just point out policy failing after policy failing. And every time Biden tries to redirect to 2020 or 2021, Trump should just say to him, look, Joe, I'm not obsessed with the past, but you are. Why can't we talk about your presidency? You stink at this. I mean, that's legitimately the entire debate. Are people going to vote on the basis of what's happening in 2024? Or are they going to vote based on their thoughts about 2020, 2021? That's the whole ball of wax. Are you tired of the lies and the twists of the mainstream media talking points? Yeah, me too. Join me in my newest series, Fact, where I dismantle and bring truth to this tiring mainstream agenda.